Completed tiffin? What is your tiffin today? Tiffin? Idli, dosa, vada, puri, pongal. Yeah, rice biryani. Yeah. Super. Yeah. Early morning biryani. Yeah. Okay. Only tea. Why? Wow, super. Chandu Sai Chaddan. That is a wonderful tiffin. Okay. Most immune food. Chaddanam is the best. My tiffin is also Chaddanam only. Papaya. Okay. Super. Mm. You know that Chaddanam immune food. People are now calling as immune food nowadays. Yesterday night, people will uh, prepare the food and pour some milk in it, and the next day morning people are started eating. That is called immune rice nowadays. People are calling. Okay, this immune rice now in five-star hotels. Now people started selling one bowl of immune rice 700 rupees. Super na? In our villages, it's a free of cost, right? Now in cities, people are buying it immune rice. People added a name Corona. So how with the Corona, how people can uh, make the money from this Corona? People are thinking, and they're placing in a display also immune rice. Immune rice, bowl of immune rice only 700 rupees. So super. 700 rupees. After seeing that, I surprised. Arre yaar. Okay, that's called business. Okay, fine. So be healthy. Don't go outside. Again, I am telling. Once you get affected by Corona, recovering from Corona will take, maybe you will be cured within 1 week or 10 days, but recovering fully and getting back to your original stamina, it takes minimum 6 months. After 6 months, also no guarantee. Still pains are there in body. Okay, your entire body system will be damaged. All your body parts are damaged. So that's why don't play with Corona. Most important. In my apartment, there is one lady is really surprised. Outside they are playing badminton and all. My wife one day went down and she's telling to my wife, hey, Corona will not come to our age people. Means below 30 years age people, Corona will not come. Actually, kids never get Corona, okay? Corona will come to only 40, 40, 45, 60 years above people only will be affected by Corona. Is Corona no age? What is your age? Corona is doing any calculation? Yeah, this person is 40, 50 years now. Let me attack. Oh, this 30 years person, no need to attack. Huh? Corona don't know what is your age, what is my age. Right? If you are negligency, you are not paying attention, it will affect. It will come into your body. There is no age limit. Don't be lenient, okay? Don't be irresponsible. Are you catching my point? Every day I am hearing from one or two students, sir, I am tested positive. I am tested positive. What is your age? 20, 25 years. Between 20 to 25 years. Every day, WhatsApp messages I am getting, sir, I put Corona test positive, sir, 1 week, 2 weeks, I cannot attend the class. Please give me backup classes. Okay, Nana, take care. Okay. And there is other people are there. I taken 2 doses of vaccine. I don't get corona. Corona don't know you have vaccine or not. Okay. Even you have vaccine will only stop corona dosage increasing in your body. Okay. Vaccine will not stop corona coming to your body. It will come and affect you and affect your family members. So even though you take a vaccine, even though you took vaccine, please don't go outside. If required to go outside, proper mask wear and feel that you don't have vaccine in your body. Okay. What is the meaning of a vaccine? Do you people know? What is vaccine doing? People know? Shall I tell you? Through vaccine, what the people are doing, do you know? They're injecting coronavirus into your body. There are 2 types of vaccines: protein vaccine, corona vaccine. Small dosage of corona vaccine is injecting to your body. Then your body preparing that anti cells or whatever to fight with the corona. People are taking vaccine and not giving time to his body to prepare that antibody, anti-corona cells and all. They're going outside and walking on, again getting corona. Then vaccine will go waste. Are you catching my point? So vaccine means they're injecting that virus into your body so that your body prepare the fighting system against that vaccine, against that virus. Are you catching my point? So even though you have vaccine, please don't go outside, don't take light, be careful. Okay. Now by May 20th, next coming 10 days, more danger. Okay, next coming 10 days, more danger. By May 21st, people are telling that huge corona cases are increased and lot of threat there. So that's why protect yourself. Don't be irresponsible. And if you see anybody without vaccine is going on the road, so beat him like anything. If needed, kill him, no problem. Okay. So be careful. Be careful. Don't go outside without vaccine, without corona, without mask, without what do you call SMS, social distance, mask, and sanitizer. Be careful, Nana. Take care of yourself. Okay. Take care of yourself. In last class, we have completed IDE, right? All points we discussed about IDE, shortcuts, everything I have explained. Okay, now moving to the next chapter. Ready? Now create a new workspace. Any doubts? Next chapter we are learning API. Okay, I will create a workspace and later. First, I want to teach you this API concept manually. Then I will show you with Eclipse. D drive, 9 a.m. IDE. Yeah, I'm creating one more folder. 86. Chapter is API and API documentation. Okay, all you people go to Google Drive. Download this PDF file, API and API documentation. Download this file, API and API documentation. Okay, I will ask you some questions. Please try to answer, okay? You are developing one class, a project you take. Okay, a project is developing by multiple developers. Developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. Like this, multiple developers are developing project. Okay, then developer 1 developed program must be used from developer 2 class, right? And developer 3 developing class must use developer 2 developed class, right? So one developer developed class must be used by other developer. Not only that, there are some concept called predefined classes, right? Predefined classes. Those are developed by either Sun Microsystem or by some other companies. Then our project classes must also access Sun Microsystem developed predefined classes and other companies developed classes also we need to use. Then my question is, this developer, how he knows what is the class name, what is the signature of the method, what is the signature of the constructor. He should know the information about this program. Then only this developer can call those methods, class and methods. Na? Agreed? If you want to allow one developer developed class, if you want to access other developer developed classes, that class name, that constructor signature, method signatures you should know. And not only that, you must know the purpose of this class. Okay, you must know the purpose of this class. You must know what do you call it? The purpose of this constructor, purpose of this method means when to use that class, when to use that method information also you must know. Now my question is, if you want to call one class method from another class, you must know the logic of the method or only prototype of that method. If you want to call constructor from one class to another class, you must know logic of the constructor or only prototype of that constructor. What you must know? Is my question understand? Okay, if you want to call one class constructor or one class method from another class, you need to know only prototype. The logic section, you no need to worry. Then tell me, as a developer, if you want to access other programmer, you should know prototype only. And next, you should know when to use that method, the purpose of that method, the functionality of that method, right? You must know the functionality of that method. To know the functionality of that method, to know the functionality of that method, you should have some description. Are you catching my point? So you should have some description to that program. So tell me, when you are writing your code in your .java file, you must declare the class A, open bracket, closed bracket, and then you should create method void. Okay, you must create a constructor, either no param or parameterized constructor, and you should define method void m1 method. Okay, after writing like this, what are you doing? You are compiling this program, okay, and you generate .class file. Now tell me, up to now what you did, now onwards what you are doing, try to observe the difference. You develop source code, you compile .class file, you created. And you are creating one user class to call the methods available in this .class file. You yourself writing. So you know what method is there, what is the purpose of that method, when to use that method. But now, not you, other programmer wanted to call. Hence, what are you doing? You are sharing this .class file. Are you sharing the source code? Will you share source code to other programmer? No. We will share only .class file. Then you are sharing the .class file to other programmer. Then other programmer, by open this .class file, can he get any information? No. But Sun Microsystem has given, for reading the bytecode, Sun Microsystem given a predefined command called what? Java P command they have given. Java C for compilation, Java for execution, Java P for reading the bytecode of the class, Java P. For example, if you want to use a predefined predefined class called string, then what you type? Java P java.lang.string. Then it will show you all the constructors and methods available in the class. It gives the complete prototype of each constructor and method. Tell me now, this is the class starting, public final class. String class is a final class. You cannot write subclass. It is implementing from serializable, comparable, char sequence and other interfaces. And it has two final variables, and it has some implicit final variables. Now it has a no param constructor, string param constructor, char array param constructor, char array param comma int array comma int comma int, byte array comma int comma int comma int. Hey, come on. When to use which constructor? Can you decide? Okay, here I am passing one char array. Then what is this first int? What is the second int? That information is there or not there? Not there. As a string class user, if you want to access string class methods, string class constructors, I should know prototype. Okay, how can I read the prototype? By using which command? Java P. Okay, using Java P, I can read a prototype of the methods from the .class file. But after seeing the prototype, the parameters information is not there. When to use this constructor, which type of int value I should pass, which int value I should pass, that information I don't have here. Everyone understand that information I don't have here. When I don't have information, how can I call? That means what is missing here? Okay, Java P command can give you only the description. I mean, it can give only prototype of the member, but it will not provide you the description. Why it cannot provide description? Because Java P command read the information from the .class file. .class file doesn't contain description to read. Where description is available? Description is available in the Java file. Before class name, before constructor name, before method name, we will place the description by using comments concept. Then who can read the description and all? Now compiler, Java C compiler can read or can ignore? And tell me, comments will read or ignore? Java C command will ignore the comments, right? It will not read the comments. Now I want one more command, one more tool like Java C, like Java P, like Java. I need one more tool. That tool, what it should do, it must, what it should do, it must generate one new file by copying description and declaration inside this file. That file is nothing but a.html. In this a.html file, what will be there? Now we'll have the members declaration plus the members description will be there. In the a.class file, what is there? Members declaration plus logic will be there. Already catching my point? In the .class file, Java C command will move declaration and logic into HTML file, who Java doc, with the special command called what? Java doc. Java doc command will move the declaration of the class, constructor, method and their description into this file. This file extension is what? .html. Then tell me, other programmer will look into where? He will look into this code, okay, this HTML file, and here he will find the description and declaration, and he will write that variable and method constructor callings. Then they are executed from the .class file. Other programmer will look into the HTML file to find the description, declaration of that particular variables and methods. And by finding the information, he is calling that variables, methods, constructor, creating object, everything done here. Then compiler and JVM software, for executing that called member logic, they will go to their .class file and execute them. So finally tell me, in this chapter, what you are learning? Are you learning how to write this class? No. Are you learning how to create constructor with logic? No. How to create method with logic? No. What are you learning? You are learning how to provide description to the class, constructor and methods, and how to generate the description file. So now this description file is technically called API documentation file. Are you catching my point? And tell me now, all you people try to answer. Now you got a job now, okay? All you people try to answer, okay? You got a job now. Now you have given an assignment. All the people should develop the project by using Spring Winter. Okay, now what is the project we have? In companies are using Spring first used, gone. Spring Boot came now, maybe in future it is also gone. When a new framework came into market developed by other company, okay, who's the name? What is the name? Spring Winter, some project name came. Now tell me, is this project, is this a Spring Winter concept, did you learn in did you learn? No, you didn't learn. Then will you come to Amirpet for learning? Company will not give you that much time. Okay, on and there and then you should learn, there and then you should start implementing. You should not come to Amirpet. You should not take the course like. Then tell me, how can we work with this Spring Winter? How can I call the variables and methods available in that Spring Winter? What the purpose of each color? How can you know? That is where you must use a concept called one API. Come on. API documentation files. API documentation files is nothing but HTML file. This .class file is called API. Okay, this .class file is called API, and this HTML file is called API documentation. API contains the class and its members, declaration and logic, and API documentation file contain class and its members, declaration and description will be there. Then as a other programmer, he opens API documentation file to find the declaration and description, nothing but purpose of those members, and then by knowing that information, he is calling those members in his class. Okay, and then now he is going to call that members, and then further it is asking compiler and JVM execute his class. In his class you are accessing the predefined classes. Then compiler and JVM software will search for that predefined class, variables, methods, declaration and logic in the API file. Then tell me, API file, if you want to access by compiler and JVM, you must place this API path, API in the class path. Na? If you don't place in the class path, compiler and JVM cannot find them. So API classes must be placed in the class path for compiler and JVM. Okay, got clarity or some idea now? What you are going to learn? If you don't learn what is the Vijay, can you please say yes or no something? And tell me now. I want you to tell differences between API and API documentation. The chapter name is API and API documentation. So I completed this chapter here. Okay, I completed the chapter. If you confirm the 3 points, then we'll go for programming. API, API documentation. Tell me first, what is API? API stands for Application Programming Interface. The full form of API is Application Programming Interface. What the meaning of interface? Interface is nothing but a mediator between two people. Okay, nothing but providing some information to us, right? API, Application Programming Interface. Nothing but an interface through which we develop a program for developing one application. API. API is nothing but an interface that is used for programming to develop one application. Okay? A predefined class. API is nothing but a predefined class. What type of class? A reusable class. A predefined reusable class. A predefined reusable class using which we can develop our new applications is called what? API. Okay, an API can be a single class or can be a set of classes. It can be a single class, can be a set of classes. Generally people say set of classes. Set of classes, okay, which are reusable for developing new applications is called what? API. That is the general people given definition. Then what is API documentation? Tell me, is it providing any logic to us to develop code? No. The documentation file for an API that contains description and declaration of class and its members is called what? API documentation. Now tell me, what the use of API? API is used for developing new classes. API used for developing logic in a reusable way for developing new classes. API documentation is used for providing description about these classes for using them by other programmer. Okay, using them by other programmer. Okay, then API is meant for providing reusable logic. But to reuse that logic, I need what? I need what? Some description. The description is provided by API. And tell me, API documentation. Tell me, API is available in which format? API is available in bytecode format, available in .class file. API documentation available in which format? API documentation is available in HTML file format, available in HTML file. Okay, na? Then okay. Who will develop API? How can you develop API? API is developed by using javac command. How to develop API documentation HTML file? Sir, I know HTML course. Then can I create HTML file? No. Don't show your talent. It is developed by a command called what? A tool called what? Javadoc. Javac, Javadoc. Are you catching my point? Tell me now. API is meant for whom? API is meant for compiler and JVM to read and execute logic. And tell me, API documentation for whom? API documentation for other programmer to know what are the variables and methods constructed available in this class. Then, do I need to set class path for API? Yes, we must set class path for API. And tell me, do we need to set class path for API documentation? Are you using via any software or using your eyes? Using your eyes. So class path required or not required? Not required. Class path is not required. Tell me, API means one class or set of classes? API means one class or set of classes? Set of classes. Then how can you distribute set of classes? API is distributed by using jar file. Okay, na? API is distributed by using jar file. API documentation is distributed. Tell me, API documentation for programmer, na? For programmer, ZIP is understandable syntax. zip is understandable, jar is not understandable, zip is understandable. Hope you got clarity on these points. API documentation. So finally tell me, you will create, finally tell me, you will create a dot or you will create dot java file. Now from this dot java file, you have to generate two additional files. What are the two additional files? Dot class file and dot java file. Sorry, dot class file and dot HTML file. Okay, then you are distributing dot class file to other programmer as dot jar file. You distribute API documentation file to other programmer as what? Zip file. Then other programmer will place this jar file in class path, and he will open this HTML file to read, understand it. So this is the complete story about this chapter. Completed this chapter theory. Can you please open API documentation, that PDF, and spend five minutes to read all the theory points. I'll start program now. Read once, complete material, first 2-3 pages read. Shall we start to develop API documentation and developing code by following API documentation? All points are there in material, na? Open, edit plus. Tell me now. I want to make a class as a reusable class. If you want to make class as a reusable, what are the steps we need to follow? First, this class must be a packaged class. Package com.nit.hk.api. I hope you are watching packages videos. All in your batch already covered. What is the meaning of com.nit.hk.com.nit? Reverse domain, reverse web domain name, and HK is just I'm adding my name, and API is the concept. And then class. Now I'm writing class name here. So let's say addition operation I want to do. I don't want to take much difficulty example. Concept wise, let me take simple. Now the class must be packaged class and public. Packaged public class. Okay, packaged public class. Then if you want to make your class logic as reusable, method should not be main method. You should create your own method. Public, it can be static method or can be non-static method, your wish. So static void, m1, okay, static void add open bracket, closed bracket. And next, when you want to make your logic as a reusable, your method should be parameterized method, should take values from the other programmer, whoever calling this method. Public void add int a comma int b. Okay, and the result generated in this method, you should not display, you must return type int, and logic must be return a plus b. Is it clear? So what are the steps to create reusable class? Class must be packaged class, must be public, and the method must be return type non-void. Method must be non-void parameterized method. Yeah, it can be static method or non-static method depending on your requirement. If method logic working only on parameter, you can take as a static. If method logic reading the non-static variable values, then create the method as a non-static method. Okay, I want to create one more overloaded method, public static return type. I'm taking string, method name add parameter string s1 comma string s2, open bracket, close bracket. I'm taking one more method called protected method. Protected method. protected static. You can take static or non-static, your wish. Now I'm taking return type of float. Method name is add float f1 comma float f2. Okay, open bracket, closure bracket. Inside I forgot to write logic. Return s1 plus s2, and here return f1 plus f2. Okay, now I am saving this program. Where you should save this program? Come on, in your folder. Here you must save directly or in the package. In the package. And I told you, you must maintain folder structure, na? SRC. Any of you remember? SRC bin. Now in SRC, you must create package folder com, in com, NIT, in NIT, HK, in HK, in HK API. Here you should say with the name edition.java. Okay, na? After saving, now I need to compile. Compiling for what purpose? Compiling for reading.class file. Okay, command prompt. How to compile? Any of you tell me? Syntax: Java C -d bin com slash whatever src slash compile, and in the bin folder dot class file created. Okay, in bin folder dot class file created com.nit.hk.api. Okay, then next what I need to do? I should execute a generate API documentation. I should generate API documentation. Okay, now observe. Now for generating API documentation, I should use src file, na? Java C. Now API documentation file also should generate with package only, right? So java doc -d. Now you must place the generated HTML file, package and HTML files in one folder, na? I'm choosing folder name as docs. Documentation files I'm saving in the docs folder. src slash com slash nit slash. Look at there, generating. You will get some warnings. I will solve these warnings later, don't worry. Then open this docs folder. Look at the docs folder created. Inside this docs folder, so many HTML files are created, and now inside this com folder, com nit hk api, look at that, we have edition.html file here. Open this edition.html file. You will see the API documentation file like this. It is you generated, you developed, you typed, or automatically generated? It's automatically generated. So now edition class, which is subclass of object, and this is the class declaration. It has default constructor, and it has three methods. Add method, which is protected, another add method public, another add method public. Okay, And these are the methods inherited from object class. These are the methods inherited from object class. Okay na? Everyone comfortable? Tell me, API documentation is generated with description or without description? API documentation file generated with description or without description? Without a description. But I want a description, right? Bolo, how can I add a description? By using comments. How many comments are there? Single line comment, multi-line comment, document comment. Tell me which comment I should use. Which comment I should use to provide documentation? Document comment. Okay, document comment. Here you can write, but generally people will follow. Each line will write with a star like this. Okay, and now this class is used for adding given two values and return result. Okay, who developed this one? There is some documentation annotations are there. At the rate author HK. It's available since 1.0 version. Okay na? These are called Java doc annotations. Okay, then now come to this. I want to provide description to this method. And now what do you write now? Slash star star star. This method is used for receiving two integers, comma, adding and returning result. And tell me, first integer, first parameter at the rate param. You have to use annotation at the rate param. What the param? A. What the first A? First value. And next, at the rate param B. B representing what? Second value. And next, at the rate return. Now returning what? Result. Okay na? You should write these what do you call? Parameters. I mean annotations. Document annotation. For here also. This method is used for receiving two strings, adding a concatenating and returning result. And now S1 first string, S2 second string, return result. Then here also this method is used for receiving two float numbers, adding and returning result. First float value, second float value, F1, F2. Okay, this is how you have to write documentation for your class and methods. So tell me, this is full-fledged way of developing a reusable class. All people understood? Then I need to compile it. Did we change any code? No. We added documentation. So what do you write? Java doc. Earlier we got 4 warnings. Look at that. Did we get any warnings now? No, because we provided properly the documentation. Then if you go and see doc file, refresh. Look at the documentation came. This class is used for adding given two values and return result since 1.1. 1.0, constructor, default constructor, method summary. Look at that. This is a protected method description. This method is used for receiving two float numbers, adding and returning result. This method is used for receiving two integers, adding and returning result. This method is used for receiving two strings, concatenating and returning result. Description coming na clearly. Modifier and type, method, description. Hope you all understand. Then tell me, my job completed. Who are you? I am a developer. As a developer, I develop my class and I develop API documentation. Then what should I do? Right click, new, program. Now I'll say I'm the developer. As a developer, my job developing them. Okay. Now I'm the user programmer. As a user, I should use the class provided by this developer. Then how this developer will supply the class? We have to create jar file na? As a jar file, right? Can you help me? How to create jar file? How to create jar file? Jar hyphen CVF, jar hyphen CVF, jar file name, arithmetic operations, classes.jar space. Now which folder you want to include? Com. This com folder available in -c bin. I requested you to watch packages chapter. I don't know whether you completed or not. Okay, if not completed, don't worry. You will know all these commands from the packages chapter. Okay, the jar file is created with the name avo classes.jar. And docs folder, you have to create zip file. Right click, add it to archive. Okay, as a zip file I want. Now docs.zip. Okay. Now I have to share these two jar files and zip file to user programmer. I uploaded to one server, from the server, somewhere server, okay, some server upload, like how you are downloading VLC media player, JDK, like how you are downloading, same way we are also uploading these two files in one server computer. From there, user downloaded and pasted. What he will do now, he will move, okay, this jar file, okay, will move this jar file into lib folder, avo classes.jar, and docs folder will be there, extract here. Okay na? And create new folder src folder. Now in src folder, you have to create your project folder name com.nit, com.nit.hk. Tell me, now this program is user program. I am going to take the folder name as user. Here I have to save the program. I have to develop and save the program. Close this. Now as a user, open edit plus. Now alt Fn Java class calc. It's a main method class. Now this class belongs to com.package, com.nit.hk.user. Tell me, can we call this calc class as an API? The definition what I given API, can you call every class as an API? Come on, answer. Can you call every class as an API? Can you call every person as a student? Can you call every person as a student? No, right? So if you want to call a class as API, it must be reusable class. A main method class is a reusable class. No, you must not call it as a API. Tell me, here, this calc class, what it should do, it wanted to perform addition operation. Now, to know what are the different methods available in addition operation, I should use the predefined class. For that, I should go to where I should go to user docs folder. In a docs folder, you open here index.html. Either you can go into com folder or you can directly open index.html. Open index.html file. Look at that. There is a one class. Under this package, we have only one class. This class is used for adding given two values and return result. Okay. What are those values? I should know method. Click on edition class. It is open the class edition. Now go there. Now I found three methods. First method is what method, Buji? Protected. Can you call protected method from your class? Any of you remember rule on protected? Can you call protected methods? No, you cannot call protected method from our class. If you want to call protected method, our class must be subclass of that class. Okay, only by using subclass reference I can call. So I drop this add method calling because currently I don't want to create subclass. Then next method is what? Two ints I can add, two strings I can add. Yes, I want to add two ints. Then I want to call this method. Now to call this method, you observe the prototype what? Add of int a comma int b. Return type is in method is static. So now I decided how to call. Now I know how to call. Static method call by using class name, addition dot. Method name is add by passing the required inputs 1020 and it returns the result. Result is of type int result equal to, and now display that value system dot out dot println of double quotes addition result plus result. Save it. Where you should save? D drive, 9 a.m. API, user, src, com.nit.hk.user, and save here with the name calc.java. Following now go to command prompt, clear screen, cd /user. Now java c hyphen d bin src / com/nit/hk/user/calc.java. What happened? Program compiler not compile. Program compiler not compile. Not compile. Why not compile? Why not compile? The class edition is not found. Where edition class is available? Edition class is available in a jar file. In user folder, lib folder, AO classes. Then what should I do now? I should set class path. Set class path equal to dot semicolon lib / AO classes dot jar. Now you compile, program now compile. Compiler software able to find class edition. Why is not found? What is user class here? Error is cannot find symbol edition. Package is not a problem. That's okay. This is not a problem. The problem currently it is edition not found. Set class path equal to dot semicolon lib. Class is not public. Which class is not public? Class not found, and class is not public. If the class calc is not public, what is the problem here? What's the problem? If it's just a class path, is it sufficient? No. Where edition class is available in AO classes.jar. In AO classes.jar, where it is available in the package com.nit.hk.api. You must add import statement now. Import com.nit.hk.api semicolon. Okay, import statement for telling this class available in which package. Okay, and then class path to tell where this package is available. What is the error coming? You are not focusing. Public not there, sir. User one, sir. Okay, clear screen. Now compile. First you have to set class path and then run. Now you're getting compiled. I cannot find symbol import com.hk.api class API. Oh, import statement I forgot. Dot class name edition. Compile now. Then execute. How to execute? How to execute? Java com dot nit dot user dot calc. Is it executed or not executed? Not executed. Why? Because the class is available in bin folder. So you have to include bin folder also. Then output is the addition result. Okay. So what did you learn in this project development? This project already developed in packages chapter. Then what you learn? You learn how to think like a split-minded personality. Okay, if developer, one programmer developing one class, other programmer want to use that class. Then for that purpose, we need some communication channel. That communication channel is nothing but API documentation. That's all. This chapter completed. Everyone understand? Yeah, look at the API documentation. In this chapter, you will learn need of this chapter. What are API documentation? What is API and what is API documentation? API documentation file formats, need of Java doc, generating API documentation for our own class, developing new classes by following API documentation, differences between API and API documentation. Okay? Hope you all understand. By end of this chapter, you will learn usage of Java API documentation file of predefined classes given by Sun and given by other team members in your company. Whatever we did for our purpose, same thing we'll do by all people. Okay. Here I given entry questions. Please read these questions. Same points I given here with the package, everything. How to compile, how many .class files are created. Okay, every story as it is shown. Difference between API documentation. Summary points I given here. And then Java SC API documentation folder structure. Okay, so you have to follow this entire story. That's all about API documentation chapter. I hope you enjoyed learning in-depth content of API documentation. Wait. Is this chapter completed? Hello, this chapter not completed. Just introduction to API documentation is completed. We will continue learning API documentation in next chapters too. In the next chapters, we will learn Sun or Oracle given Java SE API predefined classes functionality without using Java SE API documentation. How can we know the class name, its constructors and method signature of invoking them from our class? Hence, by using Java SE classes, we must continue learning the usage of API documentation. To become comfortable with API documentation file structure and its usage, please do revision by following the interview questions given in second page of this chapter. After completing the revision, then only continue with reading next chapters. For video classes, visit youtube.com/Naresh channel. Visit. After visiting here, type, Java library. Okay. When I click on Java library, you have my video here. Okay, now I given 4 years back. The only faculty, the only person prepared Java library videos in this entire world by me only. Okay, na? Click on this. That's why Google has made my video as a first list.
Well, Logic Mojo is
And
here
follow
to help you
this
crack
video.
interviews.
I given around 23 minutes video, and definitely will enjoy this video content. And you can also read the comments. As part of comments, many people has given love symbols,
This is
excellent marks, lot of things are
I'm
there.
here to discuss
So people are learning Java without proper systematic way. Okay, so that's why it's a time you have to
calling
follow
it a Java library.
Now this video,
But
you just go through.
if you
Just
take
go through that
Oracle
YouTube
documentation or
live.
Sun
Just type
Microsystem
Java
documentation
library by
anywhere,
Hari Krishna.
we
You will
call it as
come this
Java
video and follow
API.
this.
Actually, the word library
Is it clear? So
coming
continuation
from C and
to
C++
this today class is
languages
this
point
video.
of view, some other point of
Java
view.
SE library
So
structure and all.
in Java,
So tomorrow we'll start next chapter. That's all for today class. Tomorrow we'll start the next chapter. So we completed 2 chapters as part of what you call volume 2. First one is IDE software Eclipse. Second one is API documentation. Tomorrow we'll start what you call string handling related video. I mean, I can say Java SE API Java.lang package. We are starting in tomorrow class. Java SE library predefined classes given by Sun Microsystem. We are starting in tomorrow class. Don't miss tomorrow class. Tomorrow class is very, very important. Bye bye. See you all tomorrow.